Yeah, I mean, I remember him as a 3-year-old when Thiago had him at the fraternity and stuff, and I kind of knew of him just because he came from a cow horse trainer, and I knew the mare that he was out of and seen her shown in the cow horse a lot, and had heard that Thiago had bought this horse, and was going to do the reining on him. So I knew about him even before he ever hit the show pen, and and so then I saw him, and obviously Thiago did well with him. His 3 and 4-year-old year made a lot of finals on him, and a horse like that it's hard not to notice him. I mean, he's a beautiful individual, and he was just very extremely talented. We were at the NRBC. Thiago just approached me and told me about Voodoo and some of the things that they were experiencing with him. He just told me that he's a great horse, loaded with ability, but he just can't ever seem to get him showed to his potential. And it wasn't that the horse was bad; they just weren't getting out of him what they thought they had. They approached me and they said, "Hey, this horse started out as a cow horse. We're kind of thinking about maybe trying something different with the horse. Would you be interested in trying him for the cow horse?" And I said, "Yeah, I'd love to try the horse. I've admired him for the years that I've seen him. Super talented individual." And so in the midst of our conversation, they said, "But maybe try the reining, and if you think you can get him showed and you think he can, it can work for you, we can do that. Or you just make the decision. We want you to try him." I was surprised that they chose me. A lot of the heart of reining and all that's down here in Oklahoma and Texas, and I live clear up in Oregon, and so it was a long way for them to send that horse. But I was very honored that they chose me. So, anyways, I took the horse home from the NRBC. Really surprised with how quickly I was able to, me and him were able to get on the same page as far as training wise. A lot of times when you get a horse from another trainer, it takes a little bit to, because every trainer has got their own methods and their own ways and everything, and sometimes it takes a horse a little bit to click. We got along good right from the get-go. So, I mean, to me that speaks towards his mind also. I mean, it wasn't real hard to get with him. So the first time I showed him was at the Derby, and walking into the prelims was really my first time to really go show him. I'd taken him to some schooling shows, but so there was a little bit of an unknown there. I wasn't for sure how it would all go. I felt good about going in there and how I had him working, coming into the Derby. It was kind of like showing a 3-year-old for the first time. You don't really know what to expect, and the parts that I'd really been working on, he was very good for me. I mean, I just thought overall he was a very good athlete. I mean, the horse, big stop, very quick-footed, could really turn, conformationally wise, had the right look. Things were easy for him, things were very easy for him, and that's what we all look for in those horses, that we want to show, when that ability is just natural, when it's easy for him to turn, it's easy for him to stop. That makes our job so much easier. Then it's just a matter of getting them trained and getting them showed. So, I wouldn't say that he had one attribute that just made him great. I mean, that's to me what made him so good is as overall, he had all the parts. Oh, as a stud, he was easy to be around. In the barn, trailering, going to shows, all that. Obviously I got him when he was older, but shit, he was easy to be around. The traits I hope to see him pass on, definitely his just overall athletic ability. To me, he was one of the most just naturally talented horses I think I've ever rode. Just his natural ability to stop, his natural ability to turn. I mean, just how he did it was very correct, but also very dynamic. So, I hope to see that in his babies. And knowing his mother, she showed for a long time. Was a very good show horse, so hopefully that's passed on also. As a sire, yeah, if we could get all that natural ability that he had, and half the look that he had, we'll be in business. He's by Shiner, who obviously was a beautiful individual himself, and I see a lot of that in him also. Palomino never hurts, having that color, but conformationally, I thought he was very good. Very up in his shoulders, very strong behind. Neck was very clean, had a natural carriage with his head and neck that was real good. So, you know, like I said, all those elements are what we look for in individuals, and we're, you know, looking for that next great horse to show. So hopefully, I think he will. I think he'll pass that on. The reason I would tell somebody to breed to him is you know, a couple different things. You know, we've talked about him already. You know, conformationally, I think he's very good. Breeding wise, you know, that mare, I know her as an individual, and she showed for a long time. Obviously, it was in the cow horse, but that mare was a good show mare. And he was, you know, he was a great individual, you know, extremely talented, a pure athlete, natural stopper, natural turner. So those are all things I think we look for in a sire, you know, and obviously he did it in show pen too. So I think he's got all the traits to be a sire, and from what I've heard, the 2-year-olds are looking good, so, and that doesn't surprise me.
The Voodoo babies so far are very good-minded. They've been really laid back and just really easy to train on. They've had a lot of stop, and turning just seems real easy for them. They're very balanced. Had really good conformation. They carry themselves really well. They have a lot of style. They remind me a lot of Voodoo himself. Actually, right now, I think if I were to pick my own top 6, I think Voodoos are 4 of my top 6 picks of our 2-year-olds. I really hope that the Voodoo babies continue to train up the same way that they have so far, because if they do, then they're just going to make such nice 3-year-olds and really, really nice show horses.